This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
OPEC, Russia and their allies will stick to plans for a phased easing of oil production restrictions from May to July amid upbeat forecasts for a recovery in global demand and despite surging coronavirus cases in India, Brazil and Japan. The group known as OPEC Plus ditched plans to hold a ministerial meeting on Wednesday, 4 OPEC Plus sources said, following Tuesday's meeting of ministers who are members of a market monitoring panel. The panel decided to stick to policies broadly agreed at a previous April 1 meeting, the sources said.
A tanker carrying around 1 million barrels of bitumen mix was involved in a collision near the Chinese port city of Qingdao during heavy fog, spilling oil into the Yellow Sea, Chinese maritime officials and tanker representatives said on Tuesday. The collision involving the anchored Liberia-flagged tanker A Symphony and the bulk vessel Sea Justice took place at 0850 local time, A Symphony's manager Goodwood Ship Management said in an email. The force of the impact on the forward port side caused a breach in cargo tanks and ballast tanks, with a quantity of oil lost into the ocean, Goodwood said, adding all of the crew had been accounted for and there were no injuries.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
U.S. renewable fuel credits soared on Tuesday to the highest on record, as higher costs for soybean oil pushed up both renewable fuel and biomass-based credits, traders said. Renewable fuel credits for 2021 traded at $1.50 each, up from $1.44 in the previous session, traders said. Biomass-based credits traded at $1.58 each, up from $1.52 previously. Both were the highest since Reuters began reporting data for renewable fuel credits in 2013 and biomass-based credits in 2014. Front-month soybean oil, which can be used as a feedstock in biomass-based fuels such as biodiesel, traded at 67.71 cents per pound on Tuesday, the highest since 2008, Refinitiv Econ data showed.
Russia has no plans to significantly change oil taxes in 2021. Deputy Finance Minister Alexei Sazonov said on Tuesday, without providing further details. He added that there were no plans to introduce a profit-based tax for high-viscosity oil production before 2024. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. Copper prices climbed on Tuesday towards the record above $10,000 a ton seen a decade ago as worries about supply disruptions in Chile due to strikes and robust demand reinforced expectations of shortages this year. Benchmark copper on the London Metal Exchange traded up 1.5% at $9,894 a ton in official rings, a gain of 27% this year. Prices of the metal used in power and construction earlier touched $9,965, close to the all-time high of $10,190 hit in February 2011. Chilean port workers called a strike over pension-related issues. They are being supported by the mining unions.
Asia's iron ore benchmarks rose on Tuesday on solid demand and soaring steel prices, while data showing strong profit growth at China's industrial firms added momentum to the steelmaking raw materials rally. September iron ore on China's Dalian Commodity Exchange ended daytime trading 1.9% higher at 1,158 yuan and 50 fen, $178.64, a ton, boosting its year-to-date gain to 33.5%. Iron ore's May contract on the Singapore Exchange climbed 1.4% to $190.10 a ton by 0704 GMT, after earlier touching $192.25.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
Asian feed manufacturers are switching to wheat in animal rations as multi-year high corn prices constrict demand for the yellow grain widely used to fatten hogs and chickens. Some of the world's top corn buyers such as China, South Korea and Vietnam are buying more wheat from Australia and the Black Sea region in the months ahead as the landed cost of corn has climbed to a rare premium to wheat, said two Singapore-based grains traders. Combined, those three countries are forecast to buy 26.4% of global corn imports this year, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, so any substitution for wheat could have a large impact on global grain trade flows. That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.